Welcome to this introduction on metadata by SDSC, GoFair US and Partners. This video is hosted by the NIH Office of Data Science and Emerging Technologies and GoFair US. So, what is metadata? Metadata provides context information about artifacts. An artifact is any human-made object that carries information, whether physical or digital. For example, take a book. Here you see the content of that book. More precisely, the text from chapter 5 of this book. So the book is the artifact composed of sub-artifacts, its chapters. You could say the book is the data set and the text is the data. On the cover you will find the title, author and publisher. The cover also has an imprint indicating the book is part of a series called The Tree of Life. Inside the book there is a publication date, location, copyright dates, and unique identifiers like an ISBN number and keywords. In the digital world, the artifacts are digital objects. Here, metadata therefore provides context about digital objects. A digital object can also represent an event. Take, for example, the NIH webinar on identifiers. Here you see the metadata of that event. The date and time, event type, title, speakers, involved institutions, and the funder. Metadata is also data in itself. It is a specific type of data that is sometimes easy to distinguish from the data it describes and sometimes not. With digital events, the line between metadata and data easily becomes blurred. In this table, the column headers are the metadata, whereas the rows below contain the data. Often these headers are abbreviated and not easily understood. So let's look more closely at the word metadata. Meta is a Greek prefix meaning after, beyond, or about. In English, it describes something self-referential or at a higher level of abstraction. Data is controlled information that has been referenced, calibrated, or normalized so it can be interpreted scientifically. Metadata is therefore data about data. However, what classifies as metadata for one person might be primary data for another. Data without metadata has little value because you cannot interpret it. Conversely, metadata without data can still be useful. It acts as a digital death stone, marking the spot where knowledge once lived and ensuring that even vanished data leaves a trace for the future. Metadata should persist therefore even if the dataset is gone. Metadata is a love letter to the future because we want data to be reused. The more effort we put into good metadata, the more we can do with the data at a later stage. The original purpose or primary use of metadata may differ from its secondary use in another context at a later stage and can still be of value. Creating metadata requires investment. It has a cost as it requires effort and time. Because of its added value, funders should support it with adequate resources and mandate it. A key role in metadata is played by standards. A metadata standard is a reference document maintained by a trustworthy unit, like ISO or W3C, with a schema as an essential component. A schema is a logical plan showing relationships between metadata elements. It is considered machine readable if it uses a structured vocabulary and is expressed as a semantic model, typically an ontology. To create a metadata record or instance, you need a template or form. This record can be verified against a schema using a validation service. Creating metadata means implementing the schema by completing a form, known as the metadata template. A metadata editor provides a user-friendly interface for editing records. Ideally, it integrates controlled vocabularies published on the web, such as Cedar or Nanodash. A metadata record is a completed form provided by a metadata provider. This can be expressed in languages like XML, RDF, or JSON-LD. Good metadata answers the 5 W's: who, what, where, when, and why. Types of metadata include administrative, descriptive, structural, provenance, and usage conditions. Metadata provides the essential context for our research. By including rich, standardized descriptions, we ensure that data is not only findable and interoperable today, but remains a valuable record even if the data itself has vanished. Now that you have the foundation, join us in the next video to learn the practical steps for creating good metadata.